Hi, good morning. Am I audible? Can someone please let me know? If you can.
Ma'am, you are audible, but it's a little low. The volume is a little low.
Okay. Let me see what I can do. Okay, I hope it should be fine now. All right, so I think we have um, a good session today because we are going to discuss some of the important basics about the patent agent examination. And thanks to all those who have joined in and who will join in some time. So how we have scheduled this today's free boot camp is, so today is the first in the series of boot camps that we are going to organize, hopefully every weekend. We'll see how it goes. But today for the first 15 to 20 minutes, I will speak about the basics of the patent agent examination, what this exam is all about, who all can appear for the examination, how to prepare for the examination, and also some of the basic fundamental questions that a lot of people have, and I'll try to resolve them in first 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, let's say. And thereafter, we will open up a panel discussion. And in the panel discussion, we've invited Dr. Yashwant from TIFAC, also Nishant Sharma from Dolby, and Aman Sharma, who is a law researcher at Delhi High Court. So all of them are going to give you a career orientation of, as in once you clear the patent agent examination, what are the different job opportunities that are available for all of you. You don't have to absolutely worry about what will happen in future. More important at this stage is that you should be able to crack the examination with greatest sincerity, so that every provision that you are learning today or you will learn in the online classes that are going to start from 15 January, you should be able to fully handle those provisions for the best of your client's interests. So let us start with the bootcamp then with this presentation. And there are let me just take you through the public notice, because I'm sure in future this video will also be seen by complete naive students who have not much awareness about what this examination is all about. So there is now a public notification which has been released by the Controller General of the Intellectual Property Office, where the date for the upcoming exam has already been announced, which is 7th of May 2023. So we are already closing this year and we've got good 4 months to prepare for this examination. And this 4 months time period is good enough for anybody to prepare for this exam. If you have a good instructor with you, if you have a good group discussion going on, it's not a difficult thing to crack. Going forward, second, who all are eligible? I think I keep receiving a lot of queries, as in who all can sit for the examination. So there are certain, yardsticks. For example, one has to be an Indian citizen. Then you can sit for the exam, and that you should have completed 21 years of the age. You should have a degree in science, engineering, technology, or equivalent. Okay. Now, why is this important? Because patent agents have to facilitate the prosecution of patent applications, the inventions that are filed by the innovators. And these are all technical in nature. And therefore, it is expected that a patent agent should have a similar background, should have a background where the DNA structure is such that you are able to understand the basic lingos that an innovator tells you. And you should be able to draft the patent applications with much ease. And therefore, this background of science, engineering, technology, or equivalent is very, very important. As far as students are concerned, there have been a lot of questions, posed, as in, if I am a final year student, can I still appear for the examination? Yes, you can. You can take the exam. However, once the exams exam result of patent agent are published, within 2 months, you should be able to present your degree to the patent office to say that, see, I am an Indian citizen. I am already 20 years of age and my degree is already with me now. So that is important, and hence for the upcoming May examination, I recommend that the students who are in final year of their course and who are pursuing degree, any of the degree that is mentioned in the third bullet here, whether it's B Pharm, BSc, M Pharma, or any other science, technical, or engineering degree, you are very much eligible to sit. There are also two other questions with regard to advocates, whether advocates can sit or should they even have to sit for the exam, or they just having an LLB degree is good enough for them to start working on behalf of their clients. So there has been a case law, SP Chokalingam case. This was filed in 2006. And which made it very clear that advocates who already have a degree, advocates meaning the ones who have LLB degree, if they have degree of also science, engineering, and technology or equivalent, then they are not required to sit for the examination. They are already, they can already start working as a patent agent, and they can start, working on behalf of their clients, file their patent applications, and prosecute their patent applications, talk to the patent examiners, and work on the grant and complete disposal of the patent applications. They don't have to sit for the exam. An advocate or a lawyer without the aforesaid degree, meaning if they do not have a degree of science, engineering, technology, or equivalent, and they only have an LLB degree or BA LLB, or 5 years, 3 years integrated course that you may have done. But if you don't have the degree which is listed in bullet number 3 above, then you are not eligible to appear for the exam, nor such lawyers are eligible to act as a patent agent on behalf of their clients. Okay. So this was very important slide for clearing the scope of who all are eligible for this kind of an examination. Let us just very quickly look at what have been the past result percentages. In 2013, I've just tried to gather the statistics, okay, because generally for CA examination, people talk about that the result is not more than 2%, where people are successfully able to crack, and so many other examinations. Similarly, for the patent agent examination, if you look at the statistics on the slide, you will see that the pass percentage has been between 25 to 35%, and the range has been varying. For example, in 2013, pass percentage was 25%. Number of students who failed were 75%. And over a period of time, if you look, the statistics of how many people are appearing for this exam are also increasing. Of course, there has been a dip in 2016. There were only 531 appeared, but the number completely shot up in 2018, which was close to 4,000 plus students who appeared. And the latest, the last year's examination, which was held in 2022, there were close to 3,000 students, 2,971 to be more precise, who appeared for this exam. So over a period of time, you'll see that it was not held annually previously. But now, with the new organizational setup, we now see that annually this exam is being held. For 2022, it was held, and now in 2023, the notification is already out for the exam to happen in on 7th of May. Okay, the dates may change. We don't know as of now, but I highly recommend that you start preparing for your examination now, given the fact that the pass percentage is not very, very high. And I would really love to see a day when there is a 100% result, because this is an examination which is not only good for you yourself, but also for the country. If we have more patent agents in the country, better it is, more the merrier. So that, the investors who are coming and filing, protecting their IP in India, they've got good patent agents to talk to who can help them. Going forward, let me just very quickly discuss with you the paper pattern, how this paper is set up usually. And if you have a complete understanding of how it is set up, I think your preparation will will become very easy. There are three steps that you have to qualify. One is the paper one. Paper one is of 100 marks. This is generally for two hours. Sometimes it was also for 3 hours, but we've seen in the past exam that it was kept for 2 hours. There are around 50 questions which are MCQ style. Okay? This is multiple choice questions, and all you have to do is find the best option that is available. There are three parts to paper one. Part A is for 60 marks, and there are only 30 MCQs. But mind you, this is really brain sensitizing MCQs. It's not that you will read the questions and quickly you can mark the answer. You really need to apply your brain and apply your application or understanding of the provisions that you would have learned during your preparation time. Each question is of 2 marks, and therefore 30 into 2 makes 60 marks. Paper B of part B of paper 1 has 10 marks question. This is strictly true and false types. This is 20 questions, and each question stands for 1 mark. Part C of paper 1 has 30 marks. There are 10 multiple choice questions, and this is of 3 marks each. So as you can understand from part C, it is of 3 marks each, which means it's not single option that may be correct, or else you will get the questions in the form of statements, and they will ask you which statement is correct. So these are the kind of MCQs which are listed in the form of hypothetical examples. They'll throw upon some of the case studies to you, and then you will have to understand those case studies and then find out what the correct answer is. Paper 2, which has again 3 parts. Part 1 is of 20 marks, and you have to do all the questions. These are compulsory questions. Generally, there are 5 questions that you have to address to. And I think a paragraph each for each question, or little more than a paragraph, is sufficient enough. Part B of paper 2 is also of 30 marks. All questions are compulsory. And part C, which is of 50 marks, and these part C is further divided into C1 and C2. And in C1, it is of 20 marks, and there are 2 questions, and both you have to attempt. There is no choice which is given to you. You can't choose either of the 2. You have to attempt both. In part C, there are 2 choices given, and you have to just pick one and draft a complete patent application, because as a patent agent, of course, you should know how to draft during your preparation time. And then finally, it's a Viva examination, which is for 50 marks. So overall, 250 marks, 100 for paper 1, 100 for paper 2, and Viva was is 50. So 250 marks. For you to qualify this examination, the aggregate of 60% you must be able to attain, which means you need total of 150 marks. Now, forget completely that in Viva you will ever get 50 out of 50. There could be exceptions for sure. But since Viva is so subjective, there are different examiners in a group who are sitting there asking you questions, you're addressing to their answers. 50 out of 50, at least in Viva, is very difficult to get. Imagine yourself to be, aiming at between 30 to 40 or 20 to 35 from Viva. Rest, whatever is the balance, marks left, that you should be able to gain from paper 1 and paper 2. So your preparation for both the papers should be very, very good. Okay. At least for paper 1, aim at minimum achieving 80 marks, and then rest from paper 2 between 50 to 70 marks. And it is very much doable. You might find a lot of instructors saying that claim drafting is most difficult. Paper 2 is the one where most of the people fail. But don't bother any of such remarks, because if your preparation is good enough, if you have done patent drafting to an extent, which is good number of practice questions, there is not a difficulty at all to crack even paper 2. But yes, so far I would agree that it is little tough to crack if your preparation of patent draft, that claim drafting and patent drafting is not good. So that's a disclaimer. Let's move ahead. How to prepare for the patent agent examination, and there are I would request the course administrator to also post some of the links to the past videos that I did, and also the other links which we wanted to forward. Madam Trivedi, if you can just put it for the students, it will be good. But let us quickly how to prepare for the patent agent examination. I think preparing strategically is very important. You should not just pick up the bare act. Of course, we will. There is another video which was quite done in much detail last year, and you can just look at those links that have been just posted for you and will be posted for you. But prepare concept wise. Okay, don't go from section 1 to section 163. No, you don't have to go in sequence at all. If you know the key concepts, like pre-grant opposition is there is a concept of post dating, there is a concept of a lot of other concepts, that you will see. For example, concept of exhaustion of patent rights or parallel importation, Bolar exemption. There are so many concepts. There are, I think, good 25 to 30 concepts, key concepts are there, which you should much in detail prepare, along with reading up of the relevant case laws to be able to then emerge as a real good patent agent. क्योंकि your aim should not just be to crack the exam. I think अगर luck बहुत अच्छा हो और preparation बिल्कुल नहीं है, you might still crack, but that won't happen with all of you. Okay, you must understand the provisions very carefully. तो उसमें बहुत सारे concepts होते हैं जो आपको that you have to do. 1 second. Okay, sorry. And then second is have instructor-led preparation. Like in the last um, this one where I was talking to you about how to write paper 1, paper 2 in the live classes that we are going to start from 15 January. We will together understand and we will do all the mock tests, and I will convey to you how to write, how much to write, to what extent, in what format, etc. This will be all discussed in the live classes also. And then your consistency and perseverance. I think there are, I'm sure many of you might be already working, and you might say, oh, I don't have time to prepare today, but come what may, even heavens fall. I mean, really, and I'm seriously saying that you must invest at least 1 hour, 1.5 hour every day to start preparing from now itself. You can do it at a later stage also, but that will be a lot of panic. If you really want to understand the concepts very clearly, start preparing now. And those who have already registered for the classes, there is a Google Drive link that has been shared with you, which has already been filled up with a lot of important case laws. Start reading those. There is a Bear Act also provided in there, and a lot of other content, very important articles which have been put up for the course registrants. You can start reading up, and once we start the classes, we'll discuss all of that. And then practice your claim drafting nicely, which again will be done in the class. But those who have already started to prepare, start reading up a lot of patent applications from different domain. If you're from a science domain, don't confine your patent application reading only to the science related matter. Go for engineering patent documents, go for manufacturing related patent, some other inventions also, because in the exam the choice of the claim drafting that you get may not come from your sector. It could be completely from the other sector as well. But watch out for the other, the video which was done last year on this part. There is also a very common question: can I crack the exam if I don't have any sort of experience in this area? If I am not working in the patent space already, can I still crack the exam? Yes, of course. If I have to take my example, I had only 1 year of experience in my past company when I was able to sit for the exam and crack it. And all that I was doing that time was drafting patent applications. I don't think we ever discussed about compulsory licensing in the company, or we were never discussing about pre-grant, post-grant opposition. We never discussed about any of the other concepts. All that is required is your good instructor. All that is required is your good reading, as much as you read, and your group discussions. Have a group of 3 to 4 friends who should come together every day, and each one of you should prepare on different concept and teach each other also, along with your instructor. I think those are the things that really, really help in cracking the exam. So don't get bogged down or don't have any sort of a complex that, okay, my colleague out there has 10 years of experience sitting for the exam, may have a better chance to clear. No, it is not like that. It all depends upon how your preparation is. So like this is what I already said, we are starting classes on 15th of January. Here are the phone numbers and the email address given. There is a course administrator already assigned for you who will address all the queries that you may have. You can register today also, and as ma'am will post in the chat link, there is an early bird, some discount going on. By all means, you can avail it. Join this Telegram group as well, and the link will be posted for you now. But yes, we will start the classes, and there is also going to be a scholarship test. So it is going to be scheduled on 8th January 2023. And therefore, those who register before that would only get the chance to appear for the scholarship test and receive cashbacks. I think the aim of organizing this scholarship test is to understand whether you understand English language properly, and also whether you are able to understand whatever is written on in the document properly, and also convey it in the form of writing. So those are the key things which will be asked in the scholarship test. It's going to be very exciting, I hope, for all of you, and we'll wait for you for the classes to join, and we'll rock. I think with this, I wanted to end my part of the discussion, and now we have a panel discussion where we've invited Dr. Yashwant Dev. He's the head patent facilitation center at TIFAC, which is one of the organization in our country that is really helping innovators here to file for the patent applications, get them granted. So we have him, the pleasure of having him. We also have Mr. Nishant Sharma. He is the one who is handling litigation part and the IP, portfolio at Dolby. We also, and he's a good friend, of course. I also learn a lot from him, and there is always a cross, communication of a lot of information. We also have Aman Sinha. He's a law researcher at Delhi High Court. He was also with Bosch before joining before joining judiciary. So idea of bringing all of the three subject matter expertise to all of you, so that you can hear from the horse's mouth as to why this patent field is so interesting and why it is so important to sincerely emerge as a good patent agent. हाँ, तो आपको ये टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है कि कल जॉब होगी या नहीं होगी. There are certain characteristics that you must be able to, some skill set. Besides clearing the examination, there is certain skill set that you should be able to, evolve within yourself. It's not that आपने एग्जाम क्लियर कर लिया, आपके पास सर्टिफिकेट आ गया और आपके पास रेडीमेड जॉब है. ऐसा नहीं होता है. आपके पास एक, there are certain important parameters that you should have, which we will discuss with you. I think there is no dearth of jobs. There is a job available in the litigation space where people can argue in the court of law on behalf of their clients. There is a job available in the policy advocacy area, which is what I am doing. In the government bodies, which is where Dr. Yashwant is from, and I'm sure he'll be happy to discuss what he is doing there and how he encourages others to apply for such jobs. Once you're a patent agent, you can be a prosecutionist in any law firm where you are drafting the patent application, you are speaking to the examiners. You can open up your own startup, your own law firm, and also work in the academic institutions in the technology transfer offices. So I think that is where I will stop, and I will invite my co-panelists to come. I can see Dr. Yashwant. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Very much, very loud and clear. And
Okay,
we
thank
also
you.
have Aman. Aman, can I see you? I don't think I can see your video yet.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning, Aman. And yeah, now we can see you. Thank you. And we also have Nishant. Do we have? Has he joined?
Mr. Nishant is just joining in a while. He has some tech issues. He's joining in a while.
Okay, no problem. So we have some participants not only who have joined live, but also who are there in the class right now. And what we will do is, I will ask the three of you. Okay, so he's there now. Nishant. Nishant, may I ask you to please switch on your video? So, so this session is now going to be more of a career orientation session. And I will invite the panelists one by one. Of course, I've already introduced them to all of you. So my first question.
Sheetal, you can
Yes.
unshare your slide. So
Yes,
then
yes,
it would.
yes, absolutely. Yes, yes. I completely forgot. Let me do that. Is it okay now?
Yes,
Hiteshi
banner is
ma'am,
coming.
yeah, Hiteshi ma'am, you can remove the banner now so that panelists are able to then grab the screen.
Yeah, you will be able to share your screen. Mine will automatically
No,
go off. Yeah.
no, I don't want to share anything. You can remove you can stop your screen share
Yeah.
also. Yeah, we don't want any banner to come. That's what the recommendation of speakers is.
Yes, yes.
हाँ, तो हम ऐसे करेंगे कि it's sharp 11:26. We'll do some roundtable discussion for 15 minutes, and we'll open up the floor for audience to ask any questions that they may have. Is that okay?
Sure. Fine.
Hitesh
I'm
ma'am,
okay.
your banner is still showing up. Just see how you can remove it. Meanwhile, let us start. Dr. Yashwant, you've been in the government for many years now, and we've seen you actively. This Kiran program that you have, where 100 women scientists enroll every year, and you make sure that they come out in the market with a very strong information on the patent system and also on the other IP. But as far as career is concerned, there are a lot of people who, once they clear the exam, they want to know where all can we apply. Could you give some information on their opportunity in the government offices? What could they do? Over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Sita, for creating this opportunity to talk to these people. And I must compliment you for your efforts. And I'm seeing great private efforts from your side to make people patent agents. So once again, I compliment. Yes, the patent agent. Sometimes people feel very bad with the word agent, but it is not like that. It's a very respectable profession where you get all chances to interact with the innovators who has very high understanding of science, technology, and are with a creative mind. So life is full of excitement for the patent agents. And that's opportunity which they are getting with inventors, scientists, that I feel is great. And I remember my days when I cleared my patent agent exam in 2003. So we all prepared. And I think Seetal has given you guidelines how to prepare. And she gave some marks which you have to obtain. But I would recommend something more than that. See, she said paper A, paper B, and then Viva. So paper A, I think you should not be targeting 60 marks. You should target 100, but not less than 90, because you have to remember, you have to understand the Patent Act, and that would be easiest part of it. So anytime if you are asked the midnight 2 o'clock, you should be able to answer, like the kind of preparation you can do with the Patent Act. And that's actually the curriculum is fixed is a Patent Act, and questions are within that, but you really need to have more understanding. Yes, drafting and all those things will come by training, which I think Seetal is going to provide, who joins her, or there are other avenues from where you can get. Very specific question which was asked to me. What are all opportunities in government sector for these patent agents? And she asked one question about the Kiran IPR scheme. See, let me first start with the Kiran IPR. Kiran IPR scheme is for the women who are having high qualification in science and technology area like MScs, BTech, MBBS, PhDs, and other masters degrees in science and technology area, including engineering and medicine. If they are away from science and technology and high-end research due to domestic reasons like family and other reasons, uh, then if they want to come back to science and technology, it's very difficult because science has already moved or research has already moved from where they have stopped or got disconnected. So IP becomes an interesting area for them. So for that very purpose, Government of India decided to have this scheme and train women who are away from science and technology and bring them back to mainstreaming by providing them 1 year training on IPR, 1 year intensive training, maybe 1.5 month classroom training, and rest of the period, the hands-on training with attorney offices, IPR cell in government institutions, IPR cells in academic institutions, IPR cell in state research and development organizations, and some of them are in industry for this on-job training. But how patent agent is important for them? Uh, so they get a monthly stipend of 25,000 to 35,000 rupees during this training, but we have incentivized or created the incentive who clear the patent agent exam during the training period. We there is an award or motivation money or whatever you call it. We provide 25,000 rupees incentive who clear patent agent exam during this 1 year training, and so it generally happens in the middle of the training, and the good percentage of these women are able to clear. About 60% women are able to clear patent agent exam in a first attempt, and rest of them are clearing maybe in a second attempt or so. Uh, but you don't have to get discouraged. If your preparation is good, you can clear in a first go also. So this is about the Women Scientist Scheme, and we have produced about 450 patent agents through this scheme. So this is roughly of 10% of patent agent in India. And filing of patent is increasing in India. Now it is reaching to 70,000 marks, crossing 70,000 marks, and more interestingly, 30,000 marks by Indian inventors. So there is a need of more active patent agents in the country. And if we are targeting 5 lakh or 6 lakh patents, which are equivalent to some of the leading patent filing countries, then we may need multifold patent agents. Maybe 3,000, 4,000 will not suffice. Maybe 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 patent agent would be required to serve need of the country. So if Indian filing increases, so we need Indian who can understand Indian scientists and originally draft Indian patents. So there will be more bigger market. And I can tell you, their demand not only in law firms, other people would be talking about how it is important. Now, most of the technical institutions are establishing IPR cells within their institutes. So if it's very difficult to get a patent agent in the remote universities, even not only in universities, in some of the IITs also, it's difficult to get a patent agents to look at their IPR portfolio because they are mostly engaged with law firm, some of the industry, etc., etc. So there is a huge demand of patent agents in a government R&D institutions, their IPR cells. Even I need patent agents, so difficult to get entity uh, because they are in a high demand. Many of them have started their own entrepreneurship because they feel that they are getting more money than getting engaged with one institutions or two institutions. So all IITs, all technical institutions now coming up with their IPR policies and in the process of actually setting up IPR cells. So in years to come, we feel that there would be a surge of demand of patent agents and patent filing in India. So that is the expectation. So it going to grow multifold, maybe at least 10 times what is at this moment. So I think I should stop here with these remarks and
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I think it is very encouraging. And of course, I spoke with a lot of Kiran women scientists who have opened up their own firms and
yes.
they are patent agents. So they can sign on their behalf. They can, sign the patent draft and prosecute. So which is very good signal, I think. Sir, would you mind also sharing, are there any internships opportunities available in your organization where prospective patent
Uh,
agents could apply?
yeah, actually, in the government now, internship is not in that manner, but
Hmm.
many people are engaging young professionals. So
Hmm.
if you are a patent agent, so you can be engaged as a young professionals in their institution. Let's say CSIR regularly engages; they have internship schemes.
Ah,
Many such organization has. At the moment, we don't have because we already have this Kiran IPR with so
hmm.
100 women at our doing internship at our office. So we are fully engaged with them. But yes, many institution has opportunities.
Right, sir. And also, if I could just add to what you mentioned, the organizations such as CPAM, a Center for Intellectual Property Asset Management under DPIIT, there
Yes,
are,
yes.
yeah, young advocates, young patent agents are joining that government
Joining and
department
leaving,
also.
joining and
Joining,
leaving because they are
yeah,
getting better opportunities.
exactly,
So they
exactly.
get
That
a
is,
small experience 6 months and they have a huge opportunity open for them. So the
yes,
continuous vacancy arises in such offices. So there are many such
very,
offices exist in the government.
very important. Yes, yes. Similarly, NRDC or let's say AICT, there are a lot of other government offices which, if they keep scanning their websites, internship opportunities keep coming up and
See,
also good
we
jobs.
have patent information centers in 26 states. Uh,
Hmm.
MSME has about IP facilitating centers, about 70, 80 in different states. So
Hmm.
all these centers require right kind of people. And if they find a patent agent, nothing like it.
Yes, absolutely. So even I've been
But
interacting.
they don't find it because people are not available.
हाँ, correct. एक तो people are not available, दूसरा people are not even aware that such opportunities exist. Similarly, there are Chamber of Commerce where a lot of internship opportunities keep coming up, whether it's in FICCI, CI, or other places.
Yes, yes. In
Right,
even
sir.
in the industry, people are looking for it.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. Even we also give a lot of internships, sir. And after that, also a lot of people get absorbed sometimes.
Yes,
Of course, certainly you need to have certain important parameters in you. You have to be active, you need to be knowledgeable, you need to be always available, approachable. So वो सब साथ
yeah,
में चाहिए.
many. Yes, yes,
हाँ जी, it has to be a whole package. Thank you so
yes,
much, sir.
yes.
Yeah, now I'll let us go quickly to also Nishant. Nishant, you've been in the industry. I think you started your innings in the industry itself, and it's been many, many years. You are now working in Dolby and working in the space of IP litigation and also to an extent in the policy.
Right.
Would you mind letting all of the prospective patent agents know what are those important parameters that they should have in their personality? So let's say they crack the exam. Let's say they crack it with great set of marks. But unme और क्या as a whole package, what should they work upon as their personality to be able to really get better jobs in the industry?
See, I hope I'm clear, right? The
Yeah.
my, yeah, okay. So the basic requirement in any job would be subject knowledge. So since you have cleared the patent agent exam, it is expected that you should be well aware of the various provisions of the Patents Act, which are at least relevant for that particular industry where you are working. So maybe you are going for an electronics based industry, or maybe a software based industry, and you need to know what are the developments happening throughout the world as well as in India as regards the jurisprudence related to inventions on the electronic side, or maybe on the software side. So this is, I would say, is the main emphasis in any industry. You need to have that subject level knowledge. You need to be technically competent, obviously, because you would be required to, in a way, work on patent drafts, or maybe even interact. Some of the industry IP departments require you to, in a way, interact with the patent office, or maybe even they may ask you to go for discussions with your counsel who would be representing you in the court. So you need to have that knowledge about law as well as about the technical aspects, because you are representing your industry before all these people. So that's one. The other thing is you need to be assertive, because that's the most important requirement. You are dealing with government officials. You are also dealing with uh, uh, other service providers, like maybe you might have hired a law firm or a counsel who would be representing you. And sometimes people come with their own understanding of things, own opinions about how they would want to put it across to the government official or maybe to the court. But you may have some other ideas. You may, because you are representing your company, you may have a different approach towards a particular thing. So at that point of time, you need to be assertive, because obviously you have to put your company's interest before anything else. So that's how at times you have to be assertive in that respect. uh, I would say yes, you have to, in a way, be approachable. Was always what you mentioned, Sheetal. You have to be approachable. Because, as I said, it is a lot about interactions. You may be interacting within your internal departments, with the patent office, with the government officials. So you have to be approachable at all times. That's and easy to approach. I would say you should be, in a way. Uh, uh, Anyone should be able to, in a way, get in contact you and ask for whatever queries they have regarding a particular technology. And I believe these are the major points that you need to look into, uh, uh, and so as to prosper in this field.
Yeah, I think very rightly said. Also, my question to you is, suppose karo ki there are some list of, set of people who have cleared the examination, अभी उनके पास job नहीं है,
Right.
and they want to now look for the job. क्या आपकी recommendation होगी? Who should they talk to? Should they develop their networks over LinkedIn? Should they start writing over LinkedIn to very senior people, I need a job? ऐसा तो नहीं होगा, I'm sure, but what is your strategical advice to them?
So I think thing is, you'll have to start. I would always suggest start with a law firm, because that's where generally you get all the knowledge about how things operate in the patent office, in the courts. So you should essentially start with a law firm, get a hold of how you need to, in a way, behave before authorities, how you need to conduct yourself before authorities. Law firms generally have openings, and they do hire patent agents a lot, especially on on specific technical fields. So there is a dearth of good people on the who have technical knowledge as well as legal knowledge. So which is the main requirement in this field. So I think ideally I would suggest people should start with the law firm, get that knowledge. Probably after 1 or 2 years, you could. There are now openings coming up in Indian industries as well. And as Yashwanji mentioned, there are research institutes hiring patent agents. There are, uh, I would also say, there are consulting firms now, like KPMG and Ernst and Young, and all these consulting firms which are also hiring patent agents. So the opportunities are immense as of now. So, but as I said, one has to build the background and the foundation, which you would basically get from a law working in a law firm or with a counsel who has been representing clients before courts. Maybe on the plaintiff side or even on the defendant side, that doesn't matter. You'll still learn a lot about how things operate in the patents field. So this would be my advice. Start with that. After that, you can always, as I said, go for an industry, and there are, as you and Yashwanji mentioned, there people are also opening up their own firms. So maybe after 1 or 2 years, you would get that foundation and you the basis for starting your own work as a freelancer. That's also what I've seen as evolved over a few years. People are now coming up with their own firms, or maybe they are working as freelancers.
Yeah, right. And I think Nishan, मैंने ये देखा है कि some of the patent agents, of course, they may have cracked it with all great numbers, but
Right.
sometimes that smartness that is required. For example, suppose you are in link with, let's say, 10 experts from the industry
Right.
and you want a job.
Yeah.
You cannot just start typing on the LinkedIn and say, मुझे job चाहिए, can you help me?
Right.
That's not the way. आपको क्या करना है as patent agent? आपको you have to build a reputation with that industry professional, with that government
Right.
official, or whoever.
Yeah.
They may not have an immediate job to suggest you today,
Yeah.
but if you are a good person also, like you are interacting on a very positive note, you are sharing some information with them
Right.
almost every alternate day or something, meaning you have to come out to the other person as a valuable personality. Then
Right.
that person will make sure to guide you, to suggest you 10 other links to go to, but otherwise तो फिर रोज ही LinkedIn पे इतना सारा आता है, who all
Yeah.
can you cater to? तो
Obviously, yeah. And just taking from your point, I think people can start with some blogs or maybe some analysis of latest judgment that may have come out in India or outside, and how the jurisprudence is evolving. What could have been the alternate approach? I think that's what would interest anybody. So अब मुझे कोई ये बोलेगा कि this is how it was done, but this is an alternate way of approaching this particular problem. So I think I would be very interested to know how that is being done, and maybe that person has applied his mind to think of all those things. So that makes an impression.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very well said. I think I know of cases where people have been approaching me also. I may not have been able to suggest the job right at that time, but after
Right.
2 years, 3 years, something may just come up, even
Yeah.
sometimes instantly. And out of 100 people, if there are 2, 3 who are in connect with you, let's say,
Right.
but on a very positive note, you're
Yeah.
exchanging good information, you're being valuable, then you do something for the person.
Right.
So good. Yeah, I think that's very important points that you and Yashwanji made. And let's now move to Aman. And I've seen Aman has been in the industry. Of course, Yashwanji has been in the government, you've been in the industry, but Aman is the one who I've seen switching the roles from, let's say, academia, where he did his 3 years intensive IPR thing, and then he joined a company, and then now he's in judiciary. So, Aman, my question to you, how do you see the role of a patent agent? Should they be just confined to, let's say, particular role, or you recommend them something different so that they are a wholesome personality? What is the best way, if you can just convey? And how did you land to this job of being a law researcher?
Yeah, so thank you for inviting me. Now, so first of all, I would say that all those who are preparing for the patent agent exam, like I'll give you a small reality check. So the patent agent exam is not a guarantee for a bright future, but it is the entry pass effectively for a career in the patent ecosystem at least. There are more than 5,000 patent agents in India currently, and probably by the time the next exam starts, it will be the number would have risen. So it is like an essential qualification that you must have, because see, in case there are like 5 applicants and one of them is a patent agent, of course you have to give preference to that particular person. Now, coming to the role of law researcher in the Delhi High Court. So, as I think some of you would definitely be aware, after the abolition of the Intellectual Property Appellate Board, all the matters were to be sent to, pending before the IPAB, were to be sent to the respective high courts. Now, the Delhi High Court established an intellectual property division. So initially, I was working with a judge in the intellectual property division. So the role in the judicial side is that you have to do techno-legal analysis. So you have to analyze. So there are appeals that are coming in. So you analyze what is the prior art, what is is there a difference, what portion is covered, what is not covered, and then also give advice on the aspects of non-patentability, check the like any patent agent does. You have to check if the appropriate submissions with in form 3 have been filed or not. You verify if that is correct or not. So these are some of the things in which you assess the judges. And I am also happy to inform that the Delhi High Court Intellectual Property Division is currently the applications are open for the engagement of 6 law researchers, 6 advocates as law researchers. So considering it is the IP division, of course, being a patent agent will be a definite plus point, because like from my experience, we have been dealing with so many patent cases in the Delhi High Court. It's just impossible to keep track. I think someone has a question. Someone raised their hand.
Not yet. Carry on. Maybe we'll open up
Okay.
the floor after this.
Yeah. So that is one opportunity that is there. I think so. The deadline to apply for the same is till 31st of December. So I encourage you all to apply for it. So of course, this is for advocates who are having the law qualification already, and also those who would be graduating. So you also can try to apply for the same. I have posted the link to the notification of the same in the chat box. So this is one opportunity. And I must also add that currently even the Office of the Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks is having openings for as part of the Young Professional Program. So that for that also the deadline has been extended to sometime in January, and I will of course put the link for that as well in the chat box. So there are a lot of avenues for employment or engagement of patent agents. So any other questions, Sheetal?
Yeah, I think very well said. Aman, एक और question. So of course, one should keep a complete watch on Intellectual Property Office's website to see what all opportunities are coming. Similarly, at DPIT and other places where Yashwantji also mentioned. So for the judiciary, the post that you just mentioned, where is the main website? Is it on the Delhi High Court or every High Court that one should look at? Where?
Yeah, so for the Delhi High Court, it is there on the Delhi High Court website. So I have posted the link for the same. Other high courts are in the process of finalizing the rules for their intellectual property division. So, like for example, Madras High Court is in the process. It has already been reported as well. So one should keep an eye out on the Madras High Court website as well. Kolkata High Court has notified the nomenclature that will be followed for the numbering of IP cases. So it appears that they will also be in the process of having an IP division. So they may also be having such kind of a program. So, but the Delhi High Court website, you can keep monitoring. The public notices are always there when such types of vacancies arise.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I think we are right. This was very interesting, and this was a career orientation session. It's good to see the job posts for at least those who are now going to be the patent agents. So with this, I think we have only 5 minutes left, and maybe we can open up the house for any questions people may have. I hope they have the admin rights to post or ask. Hiteshi, do you know? Can they unmute themselves, unmute all?
In
Okay,
case
so
anyone
I
has any questions, they can raise their hands.
raise
We
the
will.
hands, yes. Also, I have unmuted them all. I think they can anyway open up their mics and say. But I think you all have come out pretty clear to all of them. Yeah, Pushpender ji, yes,
Yeah,
please go
hi.
ahead.
Good morning, everyone. This is Pushpendra. Currently I'm in Berlin, so I'm working as a head IP for a company, and I have some basic questions. So first, I have only 3 questions. Number one is like, is it necessary to be in India for the exam, or we can be anywhere and I can sit in the exam?
Yeah, Nishant, I think you've opened up your mic. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
So you'll have to be physically present for the exam because there's no option of appearing for it online. So you'll
Okay.
have to unfortunately come for that.
So I have one question, Nishant.
Yeah.
My name is Srinivas.
Second,
My
Srinivas ji, 1 second. I think we are not yet done with Pushpender. Let him just complete his another 2
okay,
questions and you can come in.
okay, it is related, so okay, fine.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
sure. So once he completes. Yeah, Pushpender.
Thank you very much. And again, so is it really compulsory to practice as an Indian patent agent even after qualifying the exam, or is just on my wish because I really want to qualify this exam and I really don't want to practice about that. So is it on the candidate or it is a compulsion?
No, so there's no requirement as such that you need to be in continuous practice after you get the certificate. I know many people who have cleared the exam. They have been in a way renewing their registration for years now altogether, but they haven't been practicing. So
Yeah.
the only good part about practicing is that you get to learn of the developments that are happening and you remain in the field. That's the only benefit. Otherwise, you don't have to necessarily practice.
Yeah, but it opens up an opportunity for you to have second in line,
Yeah.
way
Right.
of earning if you wish to, and if your company allows, but it is always good to have those stars in your cap in the resume. So, like Nishant
In
said,
fact,
so yes, all the
even
best, go by all means. Yeah,
in fact, even if you
Pushpender.
are in Germany, but you can still be filing your applications in India. You don't need to be present in India physically to file the applications. And for that, e-filing is available. So, in case any German companies or any persons who need to file their patent application in India as well, you can assist them.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also like Aman, what you mentioned, what Pushpinder, you can do your head in one of the companies that you mentioned. If you have a patent agent already and you are qualified, you can sign the company documents as well. If in-house there is a patent drafts that you are making instead, where sometimes companies hire outside counsels, but within if your company is filing in India and you are a patent agent, you can as well sign or transact with the Indian legal counsels as well.
And in
Thank you very
addition to
much.
Sheetal, I would
Yeah.
like to add, in addition to that, not only practicing Indian patents, but for the purpose of filing PCT International, choosing India as a receiving office, so these
Ah.
patent agents are authorized to practice. So he can practice international patent application where India is chosen as a receiving office.
Yeah,
Thank you
correct,
very much.
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This is really amazing information because this was my third question related to that even if I am outside India and still I can practice about that. So for me, it's more than 12 years. I completed my PhD in physics from Banaras Hindu University, and after that I have been in multiple countries, more than 10. And for me, like being in scientific field, it's more than like I am writing all the time and is writing as a scientist or a senior scientist. And there are sometimes I feel this is necessary now because sometimes you feel a miscommunication or there is a communication gap between what I want to say to the patent attorney and then what they are writing or the claim drafting or anything. So I think I should go for it. It's necessary by now. Thank you
Yeah,
very much. This was an amazing session.
Sorry, I
Thanks a
got
lot.
I got thrown out. So
no
just
problem.
to add to
Yeah.
your thoughts, Pushpendra, as I mentioned earlier, also it helps because you know the law, and then you can always guide your agent or the counsel, whosoever is appearing on your behalf, in a better manner,
Right.
because then
Right.
he
Yeah.
cannot take you for a ride, because there are people who sometimes take you for a ride as well. So
Right. Right.
since you are representing the interest of your company, you need to know the law. That's what
Yeah.
is
Right.
important.
And
Yeah.
also, Pushpender, I think it is good to stay relevant for the industry. And to stay relevant, you have to keep updating your books, and which is
Right.
where these new stars in your hat trick should keep coming. Okay, then I think we can go to Srinivas now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
you, Pushpender, for asking the questions. Yeah.
yeah, hi Sheetal. My question was like about the eligibility criteria. Like if it needs to be, you said like you need to be an Indian citizen, right? So somebody born in US, for example, or UK, and is brought up here. So will he or she will be available eligible
Indian
for the?
citizenship is important. Indian
Oh,
citizenship, not Indian residency.
okay, okay, yeah.
And there is,
And also
yeah,
you
yeah,
said
go ahead.
like if somebody has a law degree with a science background, they don't need to have a have the patent agent examination, right?
An
By
advocate,
default.
yeah.
That yes,
Ni-
advocate or
Nish-
lawyer. So
Nishant, Aman, can you just clarify this part?
So I'll go first. Maybe then Aman
Yeah,
can
Aman.
chip in. So in so actually there have been a lot of, I would say, controversy in respect of
Yeah.
this particular aspect, wherein even some petitions were raised before the high courts, and what I believe the final outcome of that is that as a lawyer having science degree, and the act also provides for it, you can go and represent your client in hearings and before the patent office for maybe the argument aspects, but for signing a patent draft or maybe the documents, I think you need to be a patent agent. So that's what is my understanding of how things stand as of now. I don't think the courts have in a way allowed uh, only patent attorneys as such to sign complete specifications, because if I recall, there was some observation that this is a very specific field wherein you need to have that technical knowledge and legal knowledge as well, apart from all other things. And a patent agent is more in a way equipped to draft patent applications, and thus he or she is the one who should be signing it. But yeah, I'll again, as I say, that's what I recall is the legal position, but I'll let Aman and maybe Sheetal
Yeah.
if you have some more comments.
Yes. Yes. Aman, I'll say after you.
Yeah. So as of now, the current position is that, so yeah, and I think I'll be perhaps the best example. So I am an advocate, and I qualified as an engineer, but I also had to give the exam. There is no direct route to register yourself as a patent agent if you are a lawyer and have a science or technology background. So, in fact, there were petitions filed even in the Delhi High Court by one person, but I think this was way back in 2013.
6 or
2013 in the
Cholingam
Delhi High
case,
Court.
right?
No, after the
And
Cholingam
another
case.
one, yes.
Yeah. So, but then again, that person, he himself qualified the patent agent exam, so he withdrew the case naturally. And even at before the Madras High Court, the order in this case was appealed to the division bench, but although there was no stay that was granted, but the practice has been that you have to still give the exam, and someone even had filed an RTI to this effect, that how many advocates have been registered as a patent agent. So 2018 onwards, there have been no registrations of advocates as a patent agent directly.
The
So
best,
all of you have to give the
yeah.
exam, and
So,
the exam is a learning experience. So
yeah.
uh, of course, then that is not a bar on anyone who is not able to clear it to try to claim the exception, but it is better to just go the direct route rather than then trying to file another writ petition on this aspect, and so on.
Yeah, you're right. So in combination and the non, if you want to take home message, I think if you're an advocate with the right set of degrees as has been described, there is no bar on you that you cannot prosecute. You can, right? You can work on behalf of your clients. But when it comes to signing the patent drafts as patent agent, it is good to have that certification with you. So if you are an advocate with those degrees, like Aman also said and Ishant also highlighted, sit for the exam, have an experience, have a certification, and then there is no problem. But those who don't have any of the degree, they are LLB, but don't have science, technology, or engineering, they can't even sit for the exam, or even they can't even appear on behalf of their client. So both is a no-no. But thanks
And
for
I'll
asking
just
the question. Yeah.
I'll just add to it. As Aman mentioned, if you sit for the exam, you'll obviously go through the entire Patents Act, and that's a very good way of, in a way, knowing
Yeah.
about all the provisions. Because otherwise, you'll only know about few provisions. If you are only practicing as a lawyer, only when the need arises, you'll go through it. So you get thorough with the entire Patents Act once you study it for the examination. So
And not only Patent Act, but in addition to Patent Act, you learn how to draft a good patent.
Yes.
So
right,
those
yeah,
technical aspects are very important, and how you
right.
respond to your clients in a given situation. So you're exposed to many situations where you are trained how to handle such kind of a situation as kind of infringement or maybe litigation or in a different situations. Yeah. Sorry,
Totally agree.
Nishant, I came in between. Yes, I could
No,
not
no,
stop
no, I totally
myself.
agree.
It's
Yeah,
a good
I totally agree.
intervention, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are very right. I think when you are preparing for the examination, and I remember last year when I took the classes, there were a lot of concepts which are very tricky. For example, exclusive or the grant backs, whether they are abuse of the patent rights or not. And there were varying opinions, whether you are asking for a grant back within the time when the patent is alive or after, even after when it has expired. So same question may have different answers, and therefore the training classes are very important for the aspirers. So that's what we do in the classes. But anyway, thanks to all of you. And there is one more question that I can see, which is typed by somebody. Ajan A. Hello everyone, I'm a professional who have been working in patent illustration from 3.5 years. I have brief information about drafting and searching, but not practical experience. I would like to know how should I enter in this arena and need guidance to switch my career to drafting, such as patent agent. So like all the panelists have said, Yashwantji, Aman and Nishant also, by all means, you can switch. Patent drafting is one very, very good and exciting area for all patent agents once you have qualified, because the same invention can be differently articulated in a patent draft. It could be differently mentioned in the form of claims. All that is possible. Law firms and TIFAC and so many other organizations are there where you can join. So certainly you have an opportunity, and since you've been working since more than 3.5 years, you have a good chance. I don't think that there are any other questions or hands raised, and we have overshot the time. It's 12:08.
Hello.
But I would really
Hello.
like to. Yes. Yes.
Sheetal madam,
Dr.
this is
Sindhu.
Dr.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Dr. Sindhu. I'm working as a faculty in a pharmacy college. So my query is, after clearing the exam, can I practice as a patent agent or file on behalf of my university or college? And secondly, I want to ask, what are the opportunities in the pharma industry for the patent agents?
Dr. Sindoor, I can very well connect with you because my background has been from pharma. When I joined the pharma company and worked as a scientist and chemist in their R&D. Patent agents have a very big role. First of all, since you are already in a college, you can prosecute the patent applications on behalf of your college as a patent agent as well. And there is a form that they'll have to fill, assigning you the rights to act as a patent agent on behalf of your university. That can very much happen. So it is a very good idea that you are now planning, and I know you've registered for the classes also, starting from 15th. And now, when in the pharma sector, there are multiple opportunities. So a lot of Indian companies, Indian pharma companies, they are prosecuting their drafting patent applications in-house. तो जब आप in-house करते हो, then you draft, and they also have an in-house patent agent who sign on behalf of the company. That can happen. Also, in the pharma companies, if you apply, you can apply in their patent departments as well, and a lot of multinationals also have their corporate offices here. You can also work with the outside legal counsel that has been hired by that company. So that also you can do. But start with your own education institute. Once you have an experience of drafting, then you can start applying to other organizations as well. Does that
And I think
clarify?
for,
Yeah,
for your own organization, if your organization authorizes you, even you can start right now signing patent, because you become an applicant.
But that's
Yeah.
once I have cleared the exam, right?
Yeah, before that also you can start. But to work for others, it would be difficult. You will not be allowed not being patent agent. So you have to be patent agent for that. But for your own organization, yes, you become a applicant.
Yeah, but if he's not an applicant, let's say if he's not an inventor, neither an applicant or an assignee, and he wants to sign on behalf of the institution, then he has to be a patent agent. Yeah.
Right. So I think what Yashwanji is trying to say is you, in a way, become the authorized representative of the company. As an authorized representative of the company, you are, in a way, representing the company as such in person. So you can, in a way, go ahead and if you have the knowledge, but because otherwise, even the patent office would not entertain you.
Actually, I have applied for 2 patents, but that was with another patent agent since I have not qualified the exam. So I had to depend on other patent agents for filing my invention, actually.
Okay. So in that sense, what Yashwanji is saying is you could also go and represent I hope that the patents have been applied in the name of the university. So university has to authorize you as the authorized signatory and authorized personnel to represent the university before the patent office. Because it happens in the courts also sometimes that the company is being represented by the authorized person or maybe as a person, but the best scenario would be that you should have a patent agent degree to do that, because then you are
but that gives you adequate knowledge.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
And you get better respect at the patent office also in that sense.
Yes, agree.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I think last question by Raghav. Thanks a lot for the wise words. Really thoughtful. The question I have is, we often see number of posts on LinkedIn for clearing the patent agent exam with lies beyond it. 1 second.
The simple answer to
what lies
that.
beyond that is still unclear. For example, clearing the bar or patent attorney or anything if you are in light. So I think we've discussed all of that questions already. If you have missed out, Raghav, on any of the part, you can replay the video at the later stage. For now, Merry Christmas to all of you. Yashwanji, thank you. Aman, Nishant, for coming forward, and we'll have many such free webinars for all of you and look forward to interacting more with all of you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Pleasure connecting with you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.